Welcome to My Hometown, the program that explores clubs, organizations, businesses, and issues across Nassau and Suffolk counties and sheds light on the different towns that are making a difference.
Hello and welcome to My Hometown. I'm Bill Horan, along with my co-host, Stacy Raine.
Bill, today we're going to meet an amazing teenager from Nassau County that has created an amazing project as part of being a Girl Scout that is spreading positivity to her entire community.
Well, I'm positive this is going to be a great show, Stacy. Our guests today are 15-year-old Alicia Tritchler from Lynbrook Troop 2168 and her troop leader, Debbie Prial. Alicia, would you tell us, how did you become a Girl Scout?
I did start in first grade, which was a second-year Daisy, which for Daisy, Brownie, and Junior, you're only that for 2 years. But a Daisy, I was only a Daisy for 1 year because we couldn't find a troop, but then we did. So honestly, I just always wanted to be one when I heard that there was because my brother was in Boy Scouts first because he's older than me. And I'm like, wow, is there a Boy Scouts but for girls? And I was like, indeed there is. And so I just ended up joining it, and it was really fun.
How long have you been a Girl Scout?
I've been a Girl Scout for 9 years, I think.
Oh, wow.
This might be my 10th year. Currently, I am a first-year senior after being a cadet for 3 years since I am in 9th grade. So 2 years senior and then 2-year ambassador, I think.
I mean, you're basically a pro Girl Scout.
Yeah.
Now, Debbie, let's get you involved here because you're the troop leader. Tell us, what does it take to be a great Girl Scout?
What does it take to be a great Girl Scout? An interest in the world around you.
Mm-hmm.
And how did you get involved in this, and why does someone want to be a troop leader?
Well, similar experience to Alicia. My daughter was looking for a troop when she was a Daisy. So Daisy is that very young age where they're in blue uniforms. And I didn't want to become a Girl Scout leader.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But we found a troop, and the leader stepped down, and they said that you're the best candidate for the job. And I said, okay. And I haven't looked back ever since. It's been a great experience. I love volunteering, and I love seeing how the girls grow.
I have a feeling the way you're smiling and laughing and saying that best candidate and only candidate kind of are synonymous.
Could be.
Could be.
So what is your role as a troop leader? What do you do?
Well, the role of troop leader changes over time.
Mm-hmm.
We focus on the activities being girl-led.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really a guide.
Mm-hmm.
And when they're younger, I'm pulling resources to help them along. But again, it's seeing each troop is different. It's seeing what the girls are interested in and what they like to do.
Mm-hmm.
So Girl Scouts is more than just cookies and crafts.
Yeah.
At that early age, maybe it's a little bit more focused on crafts. But it's exploration. So I know Alicia is looking for a troop that goes camping. We go camping.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just basically what the girls want to do.
I didn't know that.
I step back as a leader over the years, and I'm more of a guide.
Yeah. So you help them figure out what it is they want to do and then how they can do it.
Alicia, I see that you've won something called a Silver Award Project. Tell us what that's all about, and then we'll get into your specific project.
Okay, so the 3 highest awards in Girl Scout are bronze, silver, and gold. Bronze is more of a group project, which is done with brownies and juniors. For my project there, we did adopt, don't shop posters for a local animal shelter.
I like that. It's cute.
Yeah. It's more of a team effort since we didn't have to do a lot because we're kind of young there. We don't really understand changes needed in the world. But then silver, it's for cadets. And for my silver award, I made a positivity board. I did this by myself, which you can do it in small groups up to 4 people, I think. And I presented it to my local public library where it sat there for 6 months as people the idea is for people to write positive notes on a sticky note and stick it onto the board for other people to see, and then other people feel inspired and want to write something else on it, and it just becomes a whole cycle. And by the end of those 6 months. I even had to like clean it out a few times. It was full of just really nice notes.
I'm going to take a minute and describe it so our listeners can consider what this might look like. But it is a canvas board, and it says positivity board on it. And Alicia made it, and it has a mirror in the middle of it, and people can walk by and stick those sticky notes on with positive messages for others. Right, Alicia?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That is so cute. And did you say it kind of sat in the library? Did people forget about it? Is that what you meant? That it kind of
No, I think I just used the wrong word there. Well, not exactly sat, but like
it was presented.
Yeah, it was sitting by the window on a little table in both the children's room and the young adult and adult room. And there was still a lot on both, but the children's room did have like it all over, like the mirror was covered. And it was really cute because it was like what little kids like to say, like, you look beautiful today.
Aww.
And be positive. And adults, they had like more like deeper ones, like, you can get through this day, don't give up, and stuff like that. And it's really nice to see that how people can like come together and make these type of things.
How did you just get inspiration one night? I'm going to make a positivity board, or did you see something or read a story about something?
Well, I was originally in a group, and this was kind of part of what we were thinking about, but then they wanted to do something with helping out homeless people, but I still wanted to do something on the topic of mental health. Mm-hmm. So I decided to go solo, and I made this, and both of our projects turned out great.
When you win an award, it's got to be great, right?
Right.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
So tell us a little bit about the inspiration behind this, why you wanted to do a positivity board. What was driving you to make this particular thing?
Well, I know like after COVID and just like teenagers in general, teenagers are very stressed because of school and like what they want to do in the future and like relationship problems. So I think like it's nice to just take a break in your stressful life to read the kind words of someone else. And you could say these to yourself and be like, wow, maybe I can get through life. Maybe I can face life.
Mm. Debbie, I'm just wondering, when this came out, did you say, oh, this is a winner? This is going to be, we or the troop and Alicia, did you notice that this was going to be a prize winner, or was it like, yeah, this is really good, but...
I have to say it really did take on a life of its own. Mm. And as Alicia said, it was in the library, and the exposure was limited just to the children that came into the library. Mm-hmm. But it, as I said, it took on a life of its own. There was an article in the local newspaper, and Alicia went on to win another accolade, so to speak, through Girl Scouts USA. And
see, I have no problem remembering my awards. There's not too many of them, so I think the only thing I ever won was feeding hamburgers. So this is fantastic. That do the people in your school know this? Are they aware of it?
Well, in my school, my mom is a speech pathologist, so for the speech teachers in my school, she's friends with them, and I didn't know that until recently. So she did tell them about this, and then one of them asked her so I made two of them because one was in the children's room and one was in the adult room. She asked her if I could bring one of them in, and this one's light blue, the other one was purple. I kind of did like the purple one more because purple's my favorite color, but they're both still nice. And so now that one's in her room in the speech office. And she said it'll help out a lot because she does deal with kids who stutter. And she said that stuttering can branch from low self-esteem and negative self-talk. So she feels like this will be a positive impact on some of her students.
That's incredible.
Yes,
now,
great.
I know you have a connection to the show Wicked. We were talking a little bit about that before we started this show. Can you tell us about that?
Yes. So there's a annual, I think it's annual. There's a Girl Scout trip to the city every year to see Wicked. Wicked's been on Broadway for 20, 30 years now.
Yeah, so it's called Scouts on Broadway, where it's a special Scout Day, and they get to go and meet the cast and of different plays.
It was sponsored by Students Live, and with Students Live, that was what I made the essay for. So the essay was like, talk about something that you did for your community. And so I wrote a 1-minute little essay about my project, and somehow I got in, and I was literally in the car when I got the email, and me and my mom were driving somewhere, and I just like screamed out of nowhere, and my mom's like, what happened? Because I got told that I was going to be presenting it on the stage. So I found out before her.
Well, before we hear the rest of the story, I'm going to take a minute to remind our listeners that you are listening to My Hometown on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. My name is Stacy Raine. I'm here with Bill Horan, and today we are talking with 15-year-old Alicia Tritchler, and from Lynbrook Girl Scout Troop 2168, and her troop leader, Debbie Prial, about Silver Award Project. This is an amazing positivity board that has been featured in her local library and in her community. So Alicia, tell us, you went to this day, you talked about your project, and then what happened?
So I presented my project on the stage along with 4 other girls. I honestly didn't expect to win because a lot of them were younger than me, so they're like cuter, and their stories were like, we donated coats to the local homeless. And honestly, yeah, I didn't expect to win, but turns out I did. And I presented it to a crowd of like over 1,000 people there. And it was just like, I was so surprised and I was so happy. Like, I was shocked. And the prize, I got a certificate that said I was the master of good acts from Shiz University, which Shiz University is the university in the Wicked world that Elphaba and Glinda go to.
And as a self-proclaimed theater kid, that must have been a big deal for you, huh?
Yeah, I am a theater kid. I love performing in Broadway shows. I love seeing Broadway shows. Wicked, that was actually my first time seeing Wicked, which was surprising because it's like kind of a very known Broadway show. I actually didn't know much about it going in, but it was really good. The music was amazing. The actors and actresses were amazing.
Right.
And I got to see backstage of it, which was super cool. I got to see like all the gears in it and the stage, how the wheelchair that Elphaba's sister moves around and works.
Well, and the big thing about you being able to present there and actually winning is that now people all around the country are saying, well, positivity boards are cool. Maybe I'll work on that, right?
Yes. I got a lot of compliments. Like, people kept coming up to me because this was like a pre-show thing. So during the show, when all the Girl Scouts were actually going to see it, I got a bunch of like, congratulations. Oh my God, you won. And it was really nice to see. And especially when the younger kids told me that, because younger kids don't compliment as much. But I was told by like daisies and brownies that I did a great job presenting, and they were taking notes and they wanted to do something like this for their projects. And it just like, it made me so happy. It warmed my heart.
Not only did you do something wonderful for the people and continuing for students and anybody who comes up to the positivity board, but you're 15 years old and you were in front of 1,000 people.
Yeah, I think it helps that I have performed on a stage before, but like, it's usually like school shows and like small productions. So it's like, it's a different like clientele because it's like little girls and their moms, and it was crazy to see this. I was there. I was like speaking for all the Girl Scouts out there, which there were a lot in the theater. There was from daisies to probably ambassadors there, and I didn't want to like let them down.
Well, tell us what an ambassador. I'm not obviously a Girl Scout, so tell us what an ambassador is.
Well, ambassador is just like the oldest Girl Scouts. So as you age, you're different. You're a different level of Girl Scouts. Starts out with daisies from kindergarten to first, and then brownies for the next 2 years, junior for the next 2 years, cadet for the next 3 years, and then senior for 2 years and ambassador for 2 years. So ambassador is 11 through 12.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
That's a lot of Girl Scouting.
Yeah, it is.
I want to know, what's your most favorite part about being a Girl Scout? Because it sounds like you do a ton with it.
I love all the opportunities that I get to do. Like last summer, I won a free trip to Disney by making an essay that said, like, with the skills that I learned from this trip, if I went on it, how would I apply that to real life and pass on the information and anything that I learned.
So it was a trip to the Girl Scout National Conference, which is held every 3 years. Mm-hmm. And the trip was completely powered by cookies. The girls that won, including my daughter and Alicia, they didn't have to pay for the trip. It was, as I said, fueled by cookies.
Yeah.
So
I like anything fueled by cookies.
Right, exactly.
I'm fueled by cookies. That's
I'm not sure if anybody that eats the cookies ever gets a chance to actually read the box.
Yeah.
But the Girl Scout mission is on the box, and it's Girl Scouting builds girls of courage, confidence, and character who make the world a better place. And I really do think that Alicia exemplifies that with her positivity board.
Yeah.
So, and again, I think it's just hearing those positive affirmations and, the girls knowing that they can achieve these things.
Debbie, I think you said you've been involved in this for 10 years. Is that right?
Correct.
And now that you're doing this, what role do you see as your leadership? Because without coaches, without mentors in high school clubs and, Little League and Cub Scouts, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, we wouldn't have these clubs. So thank God people like you are willing to give up all your time. But what type of positive impact do you see this as having for the girls and Girl Scouts?
Well, again, having the troop over time, I've seen the girls grow up and grow into these beautiful young women that are not shy and realize their potential. And it's through their interests because there is so much available to them. So maybe a girl that doesn't feel comfortable being on stage, maybe she likes to crochet or she's a little bit more introverted in that sense. Maybe she can do a similar project and still be awarded.
Yeah.
So it's really nice to see.
That's a great point, and thank you. We'll say it to you because you're representing all of the Girl Scout leaders today, but for being here, for doing that for 10 years, and for being so helpful to everybody and willing to give so much of your time, which isn't easy.
Right.
Thank you very much.
And the thing I want to really point out is something that you were just saying is the things that you do are powered by these cookie sales. So every time we buy cookies, Bill, it's going to it's going for a good reason.
I'm going to try to convince my wife of that. She may call you and ask you about that if all this.
I'll verify.
Okay, so long as you're on my side. Now, what do you see coming up next from this? And that's an open question to both of you. That is there another stage to this, or are you just sitting back inventing more new things?
Well, after this, I probably have to focus on my Gold Award. I actually didn't expect this one to blow up as much as it did, from the Wicked presentation to the Herald, which is my local newspaper, to being on air. And I've only done this like once or twice before. And the previous time I did it, that was for a Girl Scout cookie commercial, actually.
Nice. I'm going to take a minute to remind our listeners once again that you are listening to My Hometown on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. I'm Stacy Raine here with Bill Horan, and today we're talking with 15-year-old Alicia Tritchler from Lynbrook Girl Scout Troop 2168 and her troop leader, Debbie Prial. We're talking about Alicia's Silver Project Award, an amazing positivity board that has been featured in her local library and in her community.
Debbie, again, I'm going to go back to you. What changes have you seen over the years? Now, we've seen a lot of changes in society and with women's rights and what women do. What changes in the Girl Scouts have you seen since you started out as a troop leader?
I do have to say that for these girls in particular, having to experience the COVID quarantine, they were able to really flourish even under those circumstances.
I forgot about that, which is almost good that we forget about COVID. But that came in those 10 years, certainly. And you had to work through that and I guess still keep things going, right?
Correct. So we remained connected during that time. And, we utilized what we could, one of them being virtual meetings. I would drop off little kits at their homes and then we would have our meetings, virtually. And I see these girls in particular still being able to be connected and to be social as opposed to other children that were maybe a little bit more shut down.
Yeah.
So I think that for this group of girls in particular was very important.
I have a question. Both of you can answer this, but if there is a young girl thinking, maybe I'll check out Girl Scouts and just considering this option, what would you say to her?
Do it.
Yeah, just do it. Join it. It was, well, I can't really say it was the best decision because I decided to do that when I was really young, but it's the best decision that I stayed with it because during COVID, I've actually only been in the troop with Miss Debbie for like 2-3 years. So before that, I had an older troop and I loved them, but they kind of stopped doing things after COVID. So I had to find another troop and I found this one and I could have left, but I stayed and I love it now.
Yeah. And I'm very glad that she's part of our troop. Again, Girl Scouting, it is volunteer based. The leaders are all volunteers. The service teams in the different towns are volunteers. And it's really what you make of it. Mm-hmm. So, everybody does the best that they can every day. And that's what this is. If you want to be, you want to go for the Gold Award, which is the highest award in Girl Scouting. It's there for you. If you don't want to earn badges and you just want to go on the trip, it's there for you.
Right.
So it's really what they make of it. And as a leader, I'm just the guide.
Yeah.
Someone thinking of joining Girl Scouts or maybe even considering, especially now and seeing the role model we have right here with this project, what would you tell them? What are some of the activities, and you can both chime in on this, that either you're planning or coming up or that the girls especially like?
Well, the cookie funds, we use them to go on trips. Like if we go on an overnight to our local Girl Scout camp, Camp Blue Bay, or we're going to Rocking Horse Ranch overnight soon. So we do a lot of like overnight trips, a lot of camping, and the cookies, our cookie funds and our funds in Girl Scouts, they fund our trips.
So again, it's teaching them financial responsibility.
Oh.
In an interesting and fun way. So not to keep focusing on the cookies, but that's...
Oh, let's focus on the cookies.
Yeah, we like the cookies. We'll go back to that.
There are recipes too. So, it's life skills in entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
And, learning how to budget and be financially responsible, to set goals.
I never would have thought about that.
Yeah.
That's really just... Even thinking about just the cookies, which I would do a lot of, there's a lot to learn about Girl Scouts just through the cookies, that they're not just selling cookies to raise money for anything. It's to fund these trips that they're doing. And then they're also helping to manage the money. I didn't know that. No, that's really cool.
Yeah, no, it's great. And also, being able to speak to adults.
Yeah.
They're at cookie booths and the adult leaders and parent volunteers are there with them, but they're the ones saying, would you like to buy Girl Scout cookies?
Right.
They're still $5 a box.
Yeah. And worth it.
And
still very good.
What to do when someone says I'm on a diet? So again,
interesting.
It's character building, which is really wonderful. And like I said, the financial responsibility. There are also like college tours and things like that. So, they get to see what is out there and how to make decisions for themselves.
And if people don't want to buy the cookies, maybe they are on a diet or something, can they donate?
Oh, they absolutely. They can donate, and the money goes to Girl Scouts of Nassau County. And then we've had a partnership with DHL for many years where the cookies are shipped around the world to our military troops. Oh, and we give them a taste of home.
I love that.
That's nice. Alicia, tell us the skills you've learned from Girl Scouts. Have you been able to transfer those into your high school, either studies or activities?
Well, money management helped me a lot because when I was younger, I wouldn't really look at the prices of things and just ask my mom to get it for me. But now that I'm like going to stores on my own now, I have to like manage my money, think about if I want to save for something bigger or if I want to get this little thing now. Mm-hmm. And the answer could vary, but
yeah.
That is a wonderful skill. And
it's an important skill.
Now, what year? Are you a sophomore now in high school?
I am a freshman.
Freshman, okay.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing what she's doing as a senior, because if she's doing this as a freshman, what's she going to be doing in just a few short years?
Any plans you want to tell us about?
Honestly, I'm not sure. I'm probably just going to follow the tide, see where I go. I might be the same person. I might be a totally different person, but...
You'll always be a Girl Scout.
Of course.
Oh, I love that.
Once a Girl Scout or always a Girl Scout?
Always
Is that
a Girl
the deal?
Scout. Absolutely.
Okay, then.
Always.
Very good. And Debbie, what do you want to say to girls who are thinking of joining, or now they hear this today and say, "Why I didn't know that"? Any words of wisdom or encouragement to come to the Girl Scouts?
For the adults, I have to say volunteer. Mm-hmm. I was reluctant to, and I am so glad that I did. Yeah. So start that troop up for your daughter. And, the resources are all there for you. There's always a support. And you can go on to do wonderful things.
How do they find an existing troop? If someone says, "Okay, you've sold me, Debbie, where do I go?"
Okay, so for us, we're in Nassau County, so it's Girl Scouts of Nassau County, gsnc.org. And on a broader scale, it's Girl Scouts USA.
Wonderful.
Folks, we really want to thank our guest today for being with us, Alicia Tritchler from Lynbrook Girl Scout Troop 2168. Yay, 2168. Let's hear it for them. And their troop leader, who you don't have a troop without the troop leader, Debbie Prial. Debbie, thank you. Alicia, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you very much.
We appreciate you taking time out of your schedule, and we're going to be eating a lot of cookies. I'd like our audience to know that I'm Bill Horan. I'm here with Stacy Raine. We thank you for listening to today's issue of My Hometown.
We like to get your feedback on My Hometown. Send your comments to WHPC@ncc.edu. Nassau Community College, where success starts and continues. Till next time, this is Bill St. James. And remember, there's no town like your hometown.